Okay, welcome back guys, and give you a little update on what's been happening, seeing that I haven't really posted any videos in a while. I mean, I have made a bunch of videos and it's still in the editing stage due to a lot of work that's been going on. And the videos I'm talking about here is a bunch of videos that I made for the Oud forum and the Oud Fest back in, I think it was in February. So hopefully we'll have these videos out for you guys relatively soon. Anyway, without further ado, explain why I'm here. I've come back to Dubai to, if you haven't been following my Instagram, then, you know, get on it, oud.base on Instagram. Anyway, so back here, trying to install our distillation pot. One of our distillation pots is literally, I ordered this pot probably back in December, and it's just taken so long for it to arrive and then get through customs and all this kind of stuff, all the paperwork. The original paperwork weren't sent. We had to pay a fine, and it's just a long drawn out story, so we won't go too far into that. But anyway, we got it done and it's ready and firing up, and I just can't wait to review some of the oils from it, and hopefully you guys will like it as well. And I'm sure you will, because we're going to be using some amazing grades of oud chips. So anyway, so today's video is about all the different ways of burning. So now, in the Middle East, they love to burn oud in charcoal. Basically, you know, this is the preferred way of doing it. In the Far East, they use more of an electric burner. You know, some of the Kodo sessions will be used with white rice ash, with a mica plate. So the different ways of burning it, you know, it's all down to your preference ultimately. I mean, me personally, I prefer all of them, you know, because they all kind of play their roles. Like in the Middle East, they'll love to just put a nice big size of oud on a charcoal, and they just want to feel the burn. They want to feel the instant smell and the fragrance of oud, and they like it really strong. Whereas, you know, if you compare that to the Japanese way of doing things, and the ceremony that goes with it, it's something that really takes concentration. You know, when you're smelling it from an electric burner, it really is a much slower burn, obviously depending on what temperature you've got it on, but it's usually done with a tiny little piece, and it really makes you concentrate on the actual notes and tones that are being released by the wood and the electric burner. So it's almost totally different way of doing it. You know, so you'll get some charcoal is very hard to light up. You get and some charcoals that'll have too much fragrance in it, and some charcoals that are too hot. So it's just finding the right balance of getting the right charcoal. One of the companies that I use actually from the Netherlands, so the Dutch charcoal tends to be one of the best, and you need to give, you know, a nice rounded burn, because it doesn't have too much of a smell. It's not overly hot, but again, you know, it's just trial and error with these things, you know. So okay, talk about some of the stuff that we're going to be using in the pot. We've got some Moories here from Indian Moories that we'll, you know, hopefully be using in the near future. We've got, and this is the thing about the oud industry. Within the industry, you have, like, you know, in all countries have this as well, and this is one thing I've recognized is that they have names for different pieces of the resin depending on where which part of the tree it came from. So, you know, like in Hindi, they've got this thing called Muri. Now, Muri means corner, but what that refers to is that the entrance of the resin where it got produced, but basically in India they have a lot of these worms that burrow into the tree, which help inoculate the tree, and it lays eggs inside these inside the tree. Resin is produced, so it has a much more of a natural process, as opposed to, like, say, a few hundred miles down the road over the border into Bangladesh, where you won't really get these worms, and it's very difficult to inoculate or get naturally resinous trees. This is why they have to put in nails into the trees to inoculate the tree, you know. So whereas in Thailand they drill into it, and in some cases they'll put inoculation substance into the tree that way. But in India it's much more of a natural process. The worms do it for you. It's the trees get inoculated very easily by nature itself. So one of the reasons why the Arabs prefer Hindi Oud is because, especially when they're burning it, is because it really stays on their clothes a lot longer. It lingers on their clothes a lot longer, as opposed to Thai wood chips. Yes, of course it lingers, and of course it gives out an amazing aroma, but it just doesn't stay on their body a lot, because they like to fumigate themselves, so it doesn't stay on their clothes that much, and it's not as complex as the smell of Hindi Oud. When you're burning it, it's a completely different experience, especially if you've got some really wild ones, or really resinous ones. It just is completely mind-blowing. You'll always come back to Hindi. This is just my opinion. I mean, Sri Lankan is very good, and the Philippine wood chips are very good. They're all good, really and truly. If you love oud, you're gonna love all of them. My experience is Hindi's the best. That's just, maybe I'm being biased, but yeah. Anyway, so these are some of the chips we're going to be using. So like I said, in the Hindi trade, there's different names, like Durga, there's the Cha, there's Muri, there's chutneys, they have different names, and even in Thailand they have different names for different parts of the trees. And I got a clip here, and my tor wood with nice body shape, my runon wood that's formed by larvae holes, my takap wood that's shaped like pockets. Welcome back, guys. So like I said, different parts of the world, they have different names for different pieces of the wood and different parts of the tree. This is the amazing thing about the Agarwood trade. It really is an extremely interesting topic for me. I just wanted to give you a heads up on some of the new oils that I have. I've just purchased this one. This is distilled in the border. I think it was the border of China somewhere. And most of you may have tried Hindi Oud, and most of you probably have smelt the barnyard tone. This one, on the other hand, that has almost zero barn in it, and it's just an incredible Hindi Oud. So please go onto our website. I will have it up there soon. There you go, guys. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Oud Base. Have a nice day.